us now is Paul Perez, president of the Border Patrol Union. Paul, from what I understand, the agents involved today were Border Patrol agents, not ICE agents. Obviously, same department, slightly different. I know that Border Patrol agents were brought into Minneapolis because there's no local law enforcement help, no state police help. They had to. I would love your thoughts on that aspect of it, that Border Patrol agents, maybe this isn't normally their responsibility, but they're prepared for it, and then today something tragic happened.
Yeah, of course. Our agents are very well trained. They've received some of the best federal law enforcement training, which is better than most police departments and many federal agencies. So our agents know exactly what they're doing. In this case, one of the agents involved, he was a firearms instructor. He was a use of force instructor, which means he had even more training than the average agent. He's actually an instructor for those programs. And so he knew exactly what he was doing. He did what he needed to do to protect himself and his fellow coworkers this morning. And so we back him. We stand by him 100%.
Thank you so much for being here, and the job that you guys are carrying out is heroic in my mind. I want to talk a little bit about the tactics, whether it's ICE or Border Patrol or other DHS agencies wrapped in there, because we were talking earlier on the show, under President Obama, we had mass deportations. I'm assuming we had Border Patrol and ICE acting with a law enforcement function, but we didn't see this kind of mayhem, and not to my knowledge, under President Obama. Can you speak to us a little bit, Paul, about the tactics and if, in fact, they have changed? Because that's all we're hearing from the leadership in Minnesota, is that the tactics of Border Patrol, federal agents, ICE, that these tactics are so savage and that they're so different.
Well, our tactics haven't changed. They're protective in nature. And the reason they're having to go out there and be protective is because of the fact that the mayor and the silly governor that they have, who should both resign in shame, they refuse to allow law enforcement, local and state, to back our agents and officers up. Our agents were out there doing a targeted enforcement operation to take some scumbag off the streets, and they were attacked, and they were, because of the villainization going on, they were attacked. These people came to impede and interfere with their operations, and they have to go into a protective mode to protect the agents that are doing the enforcement operations, which is something that we've been trained to do.
And Paul, this is Joe Concha. From a media perspective, how many stories have you seen just as a news consumer, right? You scroll through your phone or maybe through a paper you get delivered to your house or just some websites that you visit. As far as the arrests that are being made by ICE and by Border Patrol of, say, murderers or of rapists or of child molesters or sex traffickers, I'm not seeing a lot of stories in terms of, I see a lot of stories about ICE and these confrontations. I barely see anything in terms of the people that are being taken off the street. And that appears to be the big story to me in terms of not so much ICE and what's going on in Minneapolis compared to the rest of the country where everything is relatively peaceful, but the arrests that are being made of the worst criminals that enter this country illegally.
Well, the problem, Joe, is that the media on the left, they're skewing everything. They don't want the public to know the good job that our agents and officers are out there doing, arresting these criminals, these murderers, these rapists, these robbers. Instead, what they want to do is, put out this rhetoric that causes these agitators to go out there with a false narrative that we're pulling people off the streets, kidnapping U.S. citizens, arresting U.S. citizens. We're doing none of that. We're going after the worst of the worst, and they come and they interfere, and those where the videos and the cameras and all these paid agitators and protesters come out. And unfortunately, they keep running with that same narrative, and it makes our agents and officers look bad, and in turn, they get assaulted. They just bit the finger off of an HSI agent. Come on, that's what we're coming up against.
Paul, in your opinion, why do you believe that these leftist activists and even some of these Democratic politicians have zeroed in specifically on Border Patrol, on ICE, on the work that immigration enforcement officers are doing? You don't see them going after any other government agency in this way. So why ICE? Why Border Patrol?
The American public voted for President Trump because they wanted him to launch the largest mass deportation effort in the history of this country, and he's fulfilling that promise. They go back. Anything that President Trump wants to do, they want to come after him because they want to try and show a united front against Trump. It doesn't matter what he does. They're going to go after him because they know everything he's doing is being done to secure the border, to protect Americans, and they hate that. They're anti-law enforcement. They're anti-ICE and Border Patrol. We know that, but they hate everybody.
Paul, quickly before I let you go, do you know what percentage of Border Patrol agents are of Hispanic, South American, Central American descent?
Well over 50%. A majority of the Border Patrol agents are Hispanic.
I think that speaks for itself with some of the attacks being levied. Paul, thank you so much for the job you've done for this country, what you're doing for Border Patrol agents now. We really appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.